Picture the most innocent evening you can imagine. You left the hardware store 40 minutes ago. Maybe you stopped to get gas. You are 2 streets from home, moving at exactly the speed limit. Signal on, hands on the wheel, and the blue lights come on behind you. You pull over. You are not worried. You have not done anything. You are the kind of person who comes to a full stop at stop signs even when nobody is watching. The officer walks up. He is not friendly. He is not hostile. He is deliberate. He leans toward your window and says something you have never heard at a traffic stop before. "We got a call about you." 6 words. And in those 6 words, the entire encounter just changed in a way that most drivers are completely unprepared for. Because this is not a speeding stop. This is not a taillight stop. This is something different. And the mistake most people make in the next 30 seconds of this specific stop costs them more than any other mistake in any other traffic encounter. I am Marcus. On this channel, I give you the real law and the exact words before you need them. Quick note, I am a legal educator, not your attorney. This is education, not legal advice. Laws vary by state. For your specific situation, please consult a licensed lawyer. Now let me show you exactly what those 6 words are designed to do, and the one sentence that completely resets the encounter before it goes anywhere dangerous. Section 1. What we got a call actually does to your brain. This phrase is not an accusation. It is not a charge. It is not even a question. It is a pressure weapon. And it works on almost everyone, including people who know their rights, because of what it does to your psychology before you say a single word. When an officer tells you there was a call about you, your brain immediately does something completely involuntary. It starts searching. It starts running through everything you did today, looking for what could possibly have triggered a call. The hardware store, the gas station, the guy who honked at you on the interstate 3 hours ago. You are now searching your own memory like a suspect before the officer has established a single legal fact. And that mental scramble shows on your face. It shows in your hesitation. It shows in the slight change in your breathing and your posture. And a trained officer is reading every single one of those signals. Here is what he is building toward. To search your vehicle or extend the stop beyond its legal purpose, he needs reasonable suspicion, a specific, articulable, legally defensible reason to believe you have been involved in criminal activity. The Supreme Court made this clear in Terry v. Ohio in 1968. "We got a call about you" is not reasonable suspicion by itself. A vague anonymous tip does not give an officer the legal authority to do much more than stop and speak with you. But here is the real problem. The phrase is designed to make you fill in the gaps. You start explaining. You start defending yourself against an accusation that has not even been stated yet. And every word you produce in those next 30 seconds is the officer building the case that the tip alone could never give him. The call is the opener. Your response is the actual evidence. Section 2. The 3 responses that destroy people. Let me show you what happens when people respond the way their instincts tell them to. Picture a man named Thomas, 59 years old, never been arrested, drives a clean truck, pays his taxes, coaches Little League on weekends. Thomas hears "we got a call about you" and his honest, cooperative instinct kicks in immediately. A call? About me? What kind of call? I have no idea what that could be about. I just came from the hardware store. Before that, I was at my sister's. I haven't done anything. You can check. Thomas just handed the officer a timeline. 2 locations, a clear sign of anxiety, and an open invitation to ask follow-up questions about every single stop on that timeline. The officer now has material he did not have 30 seconds ago. Thomas was not guilty of anything. He talked his way into 40 minutes on the side of the road anyway. Now picture a woman named Sylvia. She decides she will not cooperate. She crosses her arms and goes silent. The officer asks what she was doing tonight. She stares forward and says nothing. The officer writes in his report, "Subject was uncooperative and evasive when asked about the reported incident. Refused to answer basic questions. Behavior consistent in my training and experience with someone attempting to conceal involvement." Sylvia's silence, without explicitly invoking her Fifth Amendment right, became evidence. The Supreme Court ruled in Salinas versus Texas in 2013 that unannounced silence can be used against you. Sylvia gave him a story without saying a word. And the third response, the most common one, is the one that ends traffic stops the worst. What was the call about? Can I see the call log? Who called? What exactly did they say? Now you are arguing with a police officer on the side of a road about the legal validity of an anonymous tip, a fight you will never win in that location, against that badge, in front of that body camera. You are not a defense attorney. This is not a courtroom. And every agitated word you say is material. Here is the truth behind all three of those responses. They all share the same fatal flaw. They treat this as a conversation to be won. It is not a conversation. It is a one-way collection process. And the only winning move is the one that closes the collection window before it opens. If what I just showed you changed how you think about those 6 words you need to be subscribed before this video ends, because this is one-stop scenario out of dozens, and every one of them has exact words that protect you. Hit subscribe right now and turn on the bell. Now here is the sentence. Section 3. The exact words and why every part works here is what you say. Calmly, no attitude, no aggression. Officer, I'm not answering any questions, but here's my license, registration, and insurance. Say it with me. Officer, I'm not answering any questions, but here's my license, registration, and insurance. One more time. Slowly, you are sitting in that seat. He has just said 6 words designed to make you explain your entire day. And you respond, officer, I'm not answering any questions, but here's my license, registration, and insurance. Let me show you exactly what each piece of that sentence is doing legally. Officer respectful. Calm, sets the tone immediately as non-hostile. It removes the easiest thing he can write in his report, that you were difficult, combative, or uncooperative. I'm not answering any questions. This is your Fifth Amendment right being invoked out loud, exactly the way Salinas versus Texas requires. You are not sullen. You are not silent. You are explicitly claiming your constitutional protection on camera. That is the difference between being legally shielded and being exposed. Notice what it is not. It is not a denial. It is not an explanation. It is not a lie. You are not saying, I don't know what call you're talking about. You are saying you are not answering questions. Declining is a constitutional right. Making up a story is a crime. Keep those 1,000 miles apart. But here's my license, registration, and insurance. This is the piece that makes the sentence legally bulletproof. You do have a legal duty to produce those documents while driving. Driving is a licensed privilege. Producing those documents is a condition of that privilege in virtually every state. So you hand them over immediately, fully, without hesitation. You comply completely on what the law requires. And you close the door on everything it does not. He cannot write that you refused to identify yourself. He cannot write that you obstructed the stop. You gave him everything the law requires. Not one word more. Section 4. What happens after the pushback ladder? He will not accept that answer quietly. Here is exactly what comes next and what you say to each one. First push. Come on. If you didn't do anything, you have nothing to worry about. Just tell me what you were doing tonight. Your response, same calm, same tone. I'm not trying to be difficult, officer. I'm just choosing not to answer questions. Do not explain your choice. The moment you justify, you are already answering. Second push. The caller gave us a detailed description. This is serious. Same sentence. I'm not answering any questions, officer. He cannot tell you what the call said while you are on the side of the road. He may be bluffing entirely. It does not matter. Your response does not change based on how serious the threat sounds. Third push. I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle. You step out. Pennsylvania versus Mims, 1977. Supreme Court officers can order you out during a lawful stop. You comply physically. Slowly, hands visible. But as you step out, you say clearly, officer, I'm stepping out. I do not consent to any searches, and I am invoking my right to remain silent. All three things on camera, all three working for you. Fourth push. I'm going to search this vehicle. You do not block him. You do not grab anything. You say clearly and calmly, I do not consent to any searches. Say it once. For the record. For the body camera. For your attorney. Then stay calm and say nothing else. Because if that search was conducted without legal grounds, those 4 documented words are what gets the evidence thrown out in court under Mapp versus Ohio. Section 5. The one legal fact that changes everything here is what most people never know about anonymous tips and police stops. In 2000, the Supreme Court decided a case called Florida versus JL. The court ruled that an anonymous tip alone, without any independent corroboration, does not provide the reasonable suspicion needed for a stop or frisk. Read that again. An anonymous tip by itself is not enough. Which means the moment an officer says we got a call about you, he may be operating on a legal foundation that a court will later find was never solid enough to hold. And the only thing that can save that case for the prosecution is what you say and do in the next 2 minutes on the side of that road. Your words either build his case, or they leave him with nothing but a shaky tip and a body cam, showing a calm, cooperative driver who knew exactly what to say. The choice happens before you know you need to make it. Now you know. Share this with one person who drives before you close this tab. Your spouse, your parent, your adult child, your neighbor. Because the next time someone hears those 6 words at their window, the gap between knowing this and not knowing it can be the difference between driving home in 5 minutes or standing on a highway shoulder for an hour. Subscribe to Marcus Your Rights Explained. Every week I give you the exact words for the exact situations before they happen to you. Hit the bell so you never miss one. Because that officer is counting on one thing, that you have never heard those 6 words before and have no idea what to say next. After today, that changes. Stay calm, stay firm, stay polite. I am Marcus. I will see you in the next one.